Hey guys, Rexasol here, and welcome back to Update Monday. Woo! It's a bank holiday, so I don't have work, so I can actually record on a Monday. Hey. Anyway, hope everyone is okay and has had a good week. And I know that technically my week is shorter because I normally do this on Tuesday, so you've lost out on a Monday, technically. So you get 2 Mondays next week. Wow, do you get 2 Mondays next week? Probably. Just checking what day it is. How's it going, everyone? It's going here too. Last week we did some Baldur's Gate 3 on Tuesday, which went fine. Did we do Baldur's Gate 3? We did. We definitely did, because we had the patch, which kind of worked. Oh, we had to wait with my brother to actually download it because he had a nap when I sent the message to download it. So anyway, that was happened. That was good. And then Wednesday, what the hell did I do last week? Oh god, I did so much, but I did it basically when I was off. So Wednesday, nothing really happened that I can remember. So obviously, really fun stuff. Did we watch Avatar? I can't even remember what we did on the Wednesday, I'm going to be really honest. But the Tuesday, oh boy. Thursdays after Wednesday. You can tell it's been a weekend. So, Thursday I woke up at 5 a.m. because I went to the train station to go to Ebbw, which is a place I don't think I've ever been before. Nor have I ever taken the train from Cardiff to Ebbw. But anyway, went there because I was going to get picked up by one of my friends because we were going to do the Three Castles Walk. And the Three Castles Walk is just shy of 20 miles, I think. 17 miles? I can't remember. I ended up walking 25 miles on Thursday, and I can still feel it in my legs today. Less so than I did the previous few days, but yes. So Three Castles Walk is Skinthrift, Glynnock, and White Castle. I cannot remember the name of these places. But either way, you basically go from one castle to the next by going on top of as many elevation hills as possible, because the person who drew the map was like, I like hills and you can see far from them rather than going around. So it was a lot of climbing and a lot of descending, but it was good fun. We had a really good... So Tom is an old friend of mine who I've known for the last 20 years or so, but it's been a while since we've been in touch with each other just because life gets in the way, and also I went to America for a bit and then all of this other stuff. So this was like our first proper catch up, and we spent 10.5 hours of it walking. Yeah, it was really good. So we had a really, really good time just catching up, talking about stuff all together and walking. We'd done the Three Castles Walk previously, but we never finished it because we got lost on the way because the signage is really poor, and it was nice to know that it's still really poor, except they've added 2 or 3 which would have been helpful in the past and probably would have meant that we didn't get lost. But hey ho, we didn't get lost this time. We did it in 10 hours and 30 minutes, which is actually very impressive considering I don't do hikes very often anymore. So it might be something that I pick up in future, but not with the weather currently, that's for sure. We also got really lucky with the weather actually, because it had rained for like 4 days prior, and then it continued to rain the day after, but this was the one day where it wasn't going to rain, and it wasn't too hot. It didn't rain. It rained a little bit around us, like we ended up being like at the center of this like rain cloud, but it rained outside of where we were. It was really interesting. And then it was just a really cool. We rescued a lost lamb on the way. We were walking past and we just heard this lamb just crying out to its mother, who was in a field on the other side, and we're like, what the hell is going on? And basically there was this pretty, I don't want to say pretty like large ditch. It was like 3 foot high, which is impossible to get up when you're a lamb, or when you're a human you're kind of like, oh okay. So and it had caught itself, so that there was this like holly bush like basically over it, and it was kind of just like, I'm stuck, I can't do anything. I initially thought that it had stuck itself in mud so it couldn't like get out, but it was just terrified basically. So we went either side of it and coaxed it to one of us, ended up coming towards me, so I stopped it from going, and then we lifted it up onto the road where it got caught in the holly bush, so we had to then coax it back out of the holly bush, and eventually got to his mum. So we saved a life. Very happy. Lamb wool, incredibly soft, believe it or not. Weird, I know, but it was good. It was a good experience. Basically, we saved a life, which is probably going to get eaten soon, but at least someone gets their dinner now. We did then 2 or 3 fields later just see the corpse of a lamb. Basically, it was just the head and the spine because it had been picked clean. The circle of life, everyone. It just happens. Very, very weird. And then later on, like really far later on, we saw then the skeletal remains of a sheep. So, it's dangerous out there, guys. So don't be a sheep, because we didn't see any other things. There was an interesting part where we had to go through. So, for those who are not knowledgeable about walking in Britain, there is like a common law about right of way. So there are certain paths which farmers need to allow access to people for walking. It's just ingrained in the culture here. So we walked through several farms and several fields. Most of these fields have sheep around Wales. It's just common. Sometimes they'll have cows, which are pretty like, ooh. And we actually came across one which had horses. And as we approached, the horses were like, oh my god, yes, food, except that we definitely didn't look like we had food on us, so they were like, oh god. And then one of them decided that the best thing to do would be to turn around and scratch its ass on the gates that we were about to open. We were like, okay, dude. So sorry you don't have food, I guess. So that was funny. We also had 2 very helpful dogs and 1 not so helpful dog. Luckily, the not so helpful dog was not on the path, if that makes sense. It was kind of next to, but there was a very sizable 2-foot fence preventing him from getting to us, so thank god it couldn't jump over 2 foot. But that was a squeaky bum time. Then we had 2 helpful dogs. One of them was just this really gorgeous, I think it was like an Australian Shepherd or something, and it was just like bouncing up and down, and effectively we figured out that the reason is because it was telling us where to go, because you kind of approach this farm from down a hill and you get onto the level where the farm is, and there's like a bunch of hay bales in the way, and then the path's actually behind them, and we were like, where the hell do we go here? And the dog was actually just telling us where to go, but it was very jumpy, very cute. And then the next one we had like an old man lab who came to us just to say hi, because at that point the gate was very obvious in that one, but yeah, he just wanted some scritches and stuff. He was very, very, very happy. So that was Thursday. That was good. I was tired, very tired. I left at home at, I think it was like 5:15, and I didn't get back until like 10:15. So it was a very long day for me. And then, which, I was really grateful on Friday when I had to not wake up that early, to be honest, because I didn't have to be at my friend Andrew's to play Vaesen until like 2 p.m. So I was like, okay, good, I can actually lie in my bed and sleep for a long time. Vaesen itself was very fun. I think both of us, after the session, we had a very big discussion about what we basically what we thought about the process. It's kind of a weird thing. We kind of finished the thing. Like we got to an end. It was kind of like the bad ending, but not really, if that makes sense. It was very much a bad ending, but it wasn't a bad ending for us because we didn't die. But the Vaesen's still loose, basically. I think we then discussed, like, well, what did you think of the mystery? And I think we both came to quite a few realizations of what we're doing wrong. I guess it's not quite what we're doing wrong, but what we're basically expecting certain outcomes based on what we're doing, and it's not what's happening. So there's a kind of disconnect there, and I think the discussion we had post session allowed us to, I think, recenter ourselves in figuring out where what we're doing is going wrong, what we're thinking and things. And I feel like it was a productive session, a productive discussion, and a productive session. A productive discussion. I think both of us, as the players, kind of know where we're going wrong and what we need to do differently. And I'm hoping that Aaron, our DM, also knows kind of what we're thinking into it and what we're enjoying, not enjoying, kind of thing. So, but I mean, overall, still really enjoying Vaesen. I love the system and I love the idea of it. It's just, it's our third mystery, so it's still very new. We still don't really know the broader, piece of how to go about things. But we're getting there. So looking forward to more of that. We've got the next session is this Wednesday. This was like a bonus Friday Easter holiday special. So we got one on Wednesday, where we're going to be doing a kind of like side quest, which kind of came from this current mystery that we've now kind of finished. Where like one of the characters basically came to because, oh my god, they saw something weird and it turns out to be like a revenant. So it's like, oh, let's deal with the revenant. Kind of happened as a side story that happens at the same time. So it'll be nice. It'll be interesting. I think both of us are going to approach this differently to how we've approached it previously, and I think it's going to be a good comedy of errors for sure. It'll allow me to flesh out one of my characters as well. So yeah, no, it should be good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm always looking forward to Vaesen, though. It's good, and just in general hanging out with Andrew and Aaron is always fun. So yeah, that's happened on Friday. Got home fairly reasonably. I was absolutely dying of tiredness, though, to be fair. And then Saturday Hannah was working, so I was going to just chill out here, and then we remembered that Easter is a thing where shops are closed, so did my shopping on the Saturday. So even though my legs were dying, I still went to Lidl and back. I had to stop like 4 times on the way back because of A, how heavy the bags were, because it's just me and it's not obviously being shared by the two of us, and B, my legs, man. It's so much walking. But it's good. And then yesterday, Easter, we didn't really do that much more. Been doing a lot of, so at the moment it's we're fast approaching the Warhammer tournament, so I'm doing a lot of painting for an army that I'm not bringing. Ain't that great? Basically, I have my next army, High Elves. I've been I've had them prior to the foreclosing of Warhammer Fantasy becoming Age of Sigmar, so I just had a small collection, and then now with the return to it with Old World, I was like, okay, I'm back in High Elves, nice. So I got the battalion box, and I got a few other units here and there that I've been building up, and I've been painting them. So I have I don't want to say I've finished, but I've painted the majority of my archers, and then today I'm going to be painting a bit more stuff as well. So, because I'm going to be bringing them Tuesday, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to do an update Monday and not a patch notes, is because tomorrow I will not be available, as we are going up to Merthyr to go play, I'm going to go up to play some Warhammer with Richard, another one of our practice games, which will be really fun. And then we, whilst Hannah and Michaela are going out for a walk, possibly depending on the weather. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to be bringing my High Elves. I'm not bringing my Chaos, mostly because I know what my Chaos are and how to play them at this point, especially against Richard. Not because I know how to play against Richard specifically, but because Richard is still playing Tomb Kings, so I know how to deal with them. And so I thought it would be more interesting for him to come up against an army that he's never played, and me to play an army I've never played, because I've never played High Elves, even though I've had them for a long time. I never actually managed to get them to the field. So, it should be good. I have 2 potential lists, and I still don't know which one I'm bringing, which is a frustrating moment to be in, because you're like, damn, both of these lists sound really cool and have really cool stuff that I want to try in them. And you're kind of like, oh, can we play 2 games? But no. So I'll be bringing one of them. I'll have decided by tonight, that's for sure. One of them is like a chariot list with cool stuff, and one of them is not a chariot list with cool stuff. So the core is very similar, but they've got some additional. One's like full sword masters, and one has got some Phoenix Guard with the chariots. So yeah, I don't know what I don't quite know what I want to bring yet, but it should be nice, should be interesting. And Richard is bringing the list that I made for him just to see how that works. I think it'll be a good list. I think he's going to be tough to beat, to be honest, especially since I don't know what I'm doing. But we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to that. So that's tomorrow, and then back in work on Wednesday, then Vaesen, and then Thursday, don't know what we're doing. Well, I could just check. Yeah, nothing on. And then Friday, it's going to be quite a chill end to the week, to be honest, which is going to be nice, because I'm probably going to focus a lot on my painting, if I'm really honest. Tonight we've got D&D, we've got the Dragon, which should be nice. It'll be interesting to see what happens. We are down 1 player, unfortunately, as they are in Malaysia, which means that if they wanted to join, it would be 5 a.m. or something like that. So yeah, unfortunately, no Cameroon for this one. But yeah, and then we've got, that's D&D, and then Sunday coming. Finally picking up the other session again. We've had a few weekends off, so this one will be quite important. I've got all of my players have come back to me with what they think has gone right, what they think's gone wrong. I discussed it at length with Andrew and Aaron with Vaesen, the little like problems that we've been having, and I had a really impactful conversation with Aaron in the car when he was driving me back on Friday, and I think the things that we discussed and the things that he suggested, I think, are really going to help recenter that campaign as well. So yeah, hopefully all the players will be happy with the decisions that I've made, and most of it is kind of clarifications more than anything, and hopefully that'll be good to just. Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything. It's not really spoilering, but I don't want to have a discussion without my players present, if that makes sense. I don't want to just tell you guys, because I know a few of my players are the ones listening as well. Because it's a discussion that I'll have with them on Sunday prior to the session. Although we are in an interesting place where they are currently on a treasure island. So this is kind of like a... What's really interesting is one of the players suggested that they really enjoy the side quest stuff rather than the main quest stuff. Not because the main quest's not interesting, but because the side quest kind of breaks it up a bit more. And I'm like, okay, and that's something that I've taken on board. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I should do a bit more like shorter side quests that kind of have stuff. Like I feel like it was the same thing with there was a jungle temple that they sort of happened upon, which had a really cool internal story of itself, and I think everyone really enjoyed that, although they left one of the players they kept forgetting behind because it was very slow. But anyway, so I think involving a bit more of these side quests may be good for the party and the story in itself. I just need to find a way to not make them feel like they're shoehorned, and I feel like this case should be fine. So it'll be interesting as we're going to be discussing like the main quest and the campaign as a whole, and then just going straight into a side quest dungeon, if that makes sense. So we'll see how that goes. That treasure island might take 2 to 3 sessions depending on how long they take to go through it, but I intend it to be about that long as well, because it's mostly going to be encounters and treasure, so we'll see what happens. But that's where they are. And yeah, on Saturday I have a leaving do, which will be nice. That's next year. Next week. Hello. Video games wise, I haven't played any. I'm going to be honest. I've been doing other things. I've been painting. I've been making... I've been walking. I've been doing Vaesen. I've been watching things with my wife and cooking and painting and Warhammer stuff. So yeah, I think the only game I've played has been Baldur's Gate 3. I played with our group, and then I played a bit on my own as well, because I wanted to try out one of the other classes. I wanted to play monk because I really enjoy the idea of the monk, and I've never played it. That's a lie. I did play it, but I played it really early in my D&D career, and so I don't think I gave it justice or enough time. But I just really enjoy the idea of the monk, and so far playing Baldur's Gate 3 with it has been really fun. But I realised that I was playing Baldur's Gate 3. I started it on Tactician. I realised I don't like it. I don't like Tactician because I enjoy the roleplay aspect more than I do the build game, which is strange because I really enjoy the Tactician mode or equivalent, I can't remember what it's called, on Divinity Original Sin 2, because I feel like, I don't know, it was just really strange. I don't know if it's because of it's specifically Dungeons and Dragons versus a video game, but I'm seeing Baldur's Gate as more Dungeons and Dragons than video game. I feel like the choices are more impactful than they are in Divinity, which is definitely not railroady, but much more so than Baldur's Gate 3. But yeah, anyway, that's that. So thank you very much for listening. Hope you enjoyed your brand new Update Monday. Didn't think you would get one of those, did you? Way. I got nothing else to say. I'll see you guys next week. Very likely on Tuesday, because I'm working Monday. Very sad. Why can't every Monday be a bank holiday? Ta-ra.